Marvel Cinematic Universe started its journey out in 2008 when Iron Man was released. It is definitely one of, if not my favorite movie franchise of all time. It truly changed the movie industry into making long-going franchises a thing, like the DCU, The Conjuring's a freaking universe for some reason. Godzilla's now a franchise. Marvel took a huge risk with this universe, making this super expensive TV show where instead of watching it on your couch, you have to go to the theater and give the guy $10 to watch the next episode. But I digress. Endgame broke the box office world record and held it for quite some time until Avatar had to come along and kind of cheat by having the movie re-released in China. Like, imagine you're going out to the theaters and you want to see a new movie or something, and you're waiting in line and you walk up to the booth and you tell the Ticketmaster, hey, you guys got a Avatar premiering tonight? Is that like the sequel or the remake? No, it's actually the same one from 2009. But to be fair, Endgame was re-released, but only after it was just in theaters, while Avatar was re-released twice. Once in 2010 and just recently. But anyways, enough with the rant. Today I'll be talking about the future of the MCU and its status right now, in my opinion. I think the status right now is fine. This phase is all about developing characters that were never developed before, but to be honest, this was done to mixed effect. Right now I'm going to go through all the projects in Phase 4 and give you my opinion. This is going to be fast, so the video isn't like 4 hours or something. Black Widow. The opening credits trick you into thinking this will be a good movie. Disappointing. 4 out of 10. Shang-Chi. This one's pretty good. Fun martial arts movie until the end with the CGI dragon. 7 out of 10. Eternals. The worst movie in Phase 4. 2 hours and 37 minutes of horseshit. 3 out of 10. Spider-Man No Way Home. Besides the pacing issues, this movie was
perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
9 out of 10. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Apparently this is a very hot take, but this movie is pretty good. People overhype the shit out of this movie. There are people disappointed that Tom Cruise's Iron Man didn't show up, or Wolverine, or fucking Squirrel Girl, but if you view this movie as a story about Wanda and Doctor Strange, then I think you'll appreciate this movie just a little bit more. 7 out of 10. Thor Love and Thunder. Too many goddamn jokes. You begin to feel numb after like the 6th screaming goat joke. Like, really? Screaming goats? Yes, more outdated humor in a Marvel movie, please.
And giant goats.
Oh, look at those! They are wonderful.
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
5 out of 10. Black Panther 2. I'm glad Phase 4 ended on a high note because this movie was pretty good, and it smokes the first Black Panther movie, and honestly, it's not even close. 8 out of 10. Now for the TV shows, and the TV shows, well, can be summed up in, well, this.
Where's the love?
WandaVision. A very watchable and average show. The side characters in this one are probably the worst. Not only are they uninteresting, but they're also, like, brain dead.
Monica, she blasted you halfway across New Jersey.
And I survived because she chose to protect me.
She's holding thousands of people hostage.
And it could have been thousands more if she hadn't put up her own quarantine.
What? Well, she only hypnotized like 1,000 people. It's like, what are you gonna do, 6 out of 10. Get this shit out of here. Bird Person and Bucky. Again, there's just like nothing here. I like the US agent's character until like the very end. Jessie from Toy Story's here and she's like absolutely terrible. The chemistry between Falcon and Bucky was pretty good, but still, I can't rank the show any higher than a 5 out of 10. Loki. The only good show out of this sea of shit. This show has great characters, great world building, and a really, really good villain who's only in the show for 40 minutes. But I don't mind it because he's going to be in future projects anyways. Great show, 8 out of 10. What If? This show was very hit or miss. Some good episodes, some bad. So I'll meet in the middle for a 6 out of 10. Hawkeye. Again, a middle of the road show, nothing crazy except for the fact that they completely ruined Kingpin. He's in the show last second and they somehow fuck him up. 6 out of 10. Moon Knight. This show was okay, but it could have been great. I think a problem with these MCU shows is that the story just kind of like meanders around this shit stream, and then episode 6 hits and it's just all hell breaks loose. The show is actually interesting near the end, but too little, too late. 6 out of 10. And that's it from the shows I've watched. Yeah, I know there's quite a few I've missed, but I'll get to that. But as you can see, most of these shows and movies are just, and I don't like using this word, They're mid. This is Marvel doing the bare ass minimum. You know, I used to think that whatever Marvel released was probably going to be pretty good. They made Guardians of the Galaxy a household name, and I would bet my life that they made a movie about Devil Dinosaur, it would probably be decent. But nowadays, when Marvel releases their new shit, I'm just not that invested. Don't get me wrong, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 looks pretty good, but everything else?
Absolute dog shit.
It's looking like a rough patch for the MCU because the MCU is going to get only more mediocre from here on out. Because they peaked at Infinity War, and they will never get to that level again, and I bet my life on that. Marvel isn't even producing bad content, but it's not good content either. It's right in that sweet spot of shit average, which just makes it bearable. But how long will it last? How long will it take before the MCU meat writers turn and go to DC? God, that sounds so fucking cringy. And by the way, let's not act like DC is like destroying Marvel or whatever, because they're both struggling, alright? They're both drowning in a river of horseshit. No one is succeeding. Huh. Anyways, that's why I didn't watch shows like Miss Marvel or finish She-Hulk, because I got burnt out. I can only handle so much mediocreness at a time. I think the future just looks dim right now. I mean, look at this slate of stuff. I think a major problem that's been brought up a lot recently is the quantity of the content that we're getting. I mean, look at Phase 3 compared to Phase 4. There are 5 more projects in Phase 4 than compared to 3. I think a solution to this problem would be to completely cut out the shows and only make the movies, because I don't think shows work in this MCU format. It just doesn't fit. And also, it just makes it easier for people to catch up on Marvel if they want to get invested. Because before they had to watch 20-something movies, now they gotta watch 30-plus movies and shows on top of that. And now that I've stopped watching certain shows, it's gonna affect my viewing in future movies. Like in the near future, I'm gonna be sitting on the couch with my son, and we're gonna be watching a scene from a Marvel movie, and a character is gonna appear from a show or something, and I'm just like, who is this? And then my son goes, oh, that's Avalanche, you fucking idiot. He's from Wong Show's Season 6, Episode 9. And I'm just like, oh, now I gotta watch Wong to understand this. Now, I know this analogy was horrible, but you get my point, I think. But anyways, Phase 5 has just kicked off with Ant-Man, and it's already not looking good. But it's not looking bad, I guess. Overall, Ant-Man WrestleMania was like a solid 6 out of 10. Again, it's just a big nothing burger with a good villain. And if we look at the future Phase 5 products, it's looking a little weird, let's just say. First, we got Secret Invasion. And this looks good, but I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get my hopes up, and then Marvel's going to drop a big fat stinker down my esophagus. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. There is absolutely no way they fucked this up. This is a for sure home run movie. I haven't been this excited for an MCU project since No Way Home. If this flops, I don't know what to say. As for the rest of the projects, well, there's really not that much information on them right now. Echo, Ironheart, The Marvels, and Agatha don't look that interesting. Loki Season 2 looks pretty good. Blade, Thunderbolts, and Captain America NWO are big question marks. And they're going to piss in the mouth of Daredevil's legacy with Born Again. But I want to reiterate this. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that these shows knock it out of the park and I look like an absolute fool. If it takes me being wrong for Marvel to be right, then so be it. Believe me, I want Marvel to succeed, but right now they're just making these movies watchable. And I hope this changes, but it looks like the near future is filled with projects that are just enough to be entertaining. They will stand on the line between good and bad for the rest of eternity.